everybody, Laura Bassen here today. Thanks so much for joining me. Today I have a fun Father's Day card to share with you, and this is all about stamping. If you love stamping as much as I love stamping, then you're going to love this project because it's a stamper's delight. There's a lot of stamping, there's a lot of inks, there's no die cutting. We're just going to be using this hourglass stamp set by Simon Says Stamp, and I'm going to stamp it in like 1,000,001 colors. And if you know anything about what I like to do is I always like to go in rainbow order. So I'm starting with dull pink. That's going to be my first color. I'm going to create this pattern that goes down the left side of the card front, and I'm going to overlap my colors. I always love to do that if I'm going to do a bunch of stamping. It looks really nice when you overlap. And plus, when you overlap, you get an extra color in there with the two colors that. So when you overlap the orange with the dull pink, you get this mixture right there in the middle that's just the cat's meow. Okay, so now we got Sunshine ink coming next. And then after this one, I'm going to use one of these brand new colors that Simon just released. It's Lemon Chiffon. It's a gorgeous, really, really, really light lemony yellow color. And it worked perfectly coming right after Sunshine ink. Now we have Green Apple. I should mention that this grid paper that I adhered my card onto, that's what I've been stamping lately on this. It's like my scrap. It's like a whole pad of grid paper. I got it at the grocery store. And it came in like a pack of 3 pads of paper. And actually, my husband's the one who saw it. And he was like, hey, you should use this instead of that spiral notebook. And it's worked really good. And especially for stuff like this, you can use the little markings, the grid markings, and I've used those to get even spacing for this stamping. So I'm holding that triangle and I'm kind of lining it up with, I don't know how many spaces I skipped in between each triangle, but that helped me to get the even spacing. So when you're doing stuff like this, it's nice to work on grid paper or even on notebook paper, which is what I used to always use. I always use those lines to help me, get spacing right. Anyway, so I'm going through all these colors. I tried to cut up the video so you wouldn't have to watch me because it took me a long time deciding which colors I want to use, and I'm just slow is what I am. I'm slow. Now I'm going to go over again that first triangle I stamped with the dull pink. I just felt like it didn't get good coverage. So I'm going to go over it again, and that made it a lot better to me. And so I'm going to just do these end ones. I felt like you needed to just go right off the ends of the card. Looked better, in my opinion. Now, I decided instead of making this a 1-layer card, I'm going to just cut off that front part of the card and then snip a little bit off the side. See that? So I've got a little slit in that I'm going to put some gold metallic, well, what's it called? Foil cardstock. I love, love, love this paper pack. Actually, my lovely friend Donna Mikasa sent it to me, and it's wonderful. I try not to use it too much because I just want to savor each little bit of it. So I only use little strips at a time. Okay, so now I'm using this Father's Day stamp set, and I'm going to stamp Dad. I really love the font on this Dad. Something about it reminds me of old vintage, like uniforms that they used for baseball, back in the day. Doesn't it kind of remind you of that? And that works perfectly for my husband Mark, which is the dad in our family. He's a sporty guy, and so this works good for him. And plus, he loves bright, bold, colorful cards. I mean, when I make a card that's a little more on the subtle, like neutral side, he's like, oh, that's nice. But when I make a bright card with big, black, bold sentiment, he's like, ooh. Yeah, that one really catches your eye. So he likes a card that catches his eye. So I think this one will be a big hit. And normally I would have the kids make all their own Father's Day cards, but I've been making so many Father's Day cards lately with all this fun new Father's Day dies and stencils and stamp sets that I have quite a few to go around. So the kids will be able to pick one that they like, and they'll probably, most likely, fight over this one. Anyhow, so that is all there is. I popped up both of those panels with foam tape, and you can see that little strip of gold there. And it's just a stamper's delight. Thanks so much for joining me.